Everybody always wonder why black people get treated so bad, while the police for years have made them the brunt of their beatings, convoluted setups, shakedowns, profilings, lynchings, and killings. Excluded from society in every way, granted no liberties, trees getting whipped in backs of slaves, spit upon, separated, fake segregated, over and upcharged while being under service, known as the parasite of all races, not trusted, shut out, resented, rejected, and abused, burned and burned down, stolen, used, accused, hosed down, drowned, ran down, posed as clowns, abandoned, sacrificed, left for dead, holding an alligator to our babies' heads, tortured, eliminated, sacrificed, and eaten, physically, emotionally, and mentally beaten, met daily with impossibilities and closed off to them opportunities. Every attempt to dismantle, undermine, disorient, and isolate, it's a wonder they have survived of late. That is a shame that a list that's so devious, so evil, and so deliberate is a few on the hundreds of ways that black people will get treated so poorly. The truth is, the devil really messed things up bad. It was set to be perfect. It was set to be heaven on earth. Christopher Columbus was a savage, no doubt. He came to America. He sold his soul to the devil, and in turn, the devil gave him supernatural powers, also known as the secrets of the gods. The devil had been previously warned and forbidden to teach those outside of the cosmos the secrets of the gods. However, he went against what God had said several times. The Native Americans densely populated America. These were ascended masters who were there in, let's say, a capacity of a scientist. They created the planet to get scientific data on the air, black Africans, the atmosphere, to set up an infrastructure where spirits could incarnate into physical forms. They were to use this planet to experiment and to prepare an environment that was physically, mentally, and spiritually physical for celestial beings to inhabit. Christopher Columbus began to slaughter, or the event that's known as Thanksgiving, that wiped out the Native Americans. This slaughter was representative of Columbus using the secrets of the gods that the devil had given him knowledge to. The devil gave Christopher Columbus the direct orders to kill and destroy the Native Americans. After capturing, torturing, and killings of a few Native Americans, the remaining tribes were vanished to the heavens. Columbus spread falsehoods about slaughtering all of the Native Americans and taking over all of the land. However, the truth is they banished themselves from the planet to deter from being captured. Columbus first attacked the Native Americans as they slept. He camped out on the roof of the god's quarters, forced his way in one night, and put one hand in the back of the chief's neck and another one firmly on his chin. Quickly, he jerked the god's neck to a point where he heard the break. He bound the god's wives to the bed, shapeshifted into the dead chief. Then he climbed on top of the chief's wife and raped her repeatedly and repeatedly. While he defied her with the rape, he bit and ate her flesh. It was a massacre. Blood was everywhere. Then took an axe, chopped the head off, rubbed the blood that spilled all over his body, and ate the bloody tissue hanging out. Columbus then took a razor-sharp blade and cut the long, thick hair of the chief and placed it on his head. The more bloodshed that occurred only seemed to strengthen Columbus. Columbus then turned to the god's wife Ashira and hit her with his scepter 12 times. She then fell unconscious. He then cut off her nipple and areola and raped her repeatedly again. He let his guards and his members of his army rape her as well. If she happened to come to between the rapings, they beat her some more, and the forced sex continued. The ordeal left God's wife pregnant. After she gave birth, she passed away. When she died, Columbus slit her throat and drank all the blood that exited her body. She was then cut open. Her heart, liver, spleen, kidney, lungs, the brain, everything was eaten at the first military militia's meeting banquet. The military militia was the first installment of the military branch of the army. During the meeting banquet, the 12 generals created the army. The army would be responsible for carrying out the orders and protecting the 12 generals throughout the land. The devil was always in pursuit of ultimate power, even though it had been written that he will lose the final battle in the end. he is still committed to putting the best efforts possible for that not to happen. The devil was able to trap souls by creating a system that took advantage of the free will of God that God placed on the planet after the crucifixion of Jesus. He was able to trap people with their desires such as sex, drugs, feeling good with egos, arrogance, selfishness, things like that. He continued to sway all people all over the planet, making it very comfortable and giving it too many services, much more than was needed by the people. This was an attempt to colonize the planet, give the people so many solutions they couldn't think for themselves, thus making everyone forget themselves and give in to their desires and control them. The second way the devil was able to trap souls was to pretend an organized slavery no longer existed. Modern day slavery does not exist. It may also be known as modern day slavery does exist. It may also be known as human trafficking. Now hold on. Human trafficking has many facets, many meanings. An everyday 9 to 5 job is the human trafficking. Murder and killing is human trafficking. Sacrifices and kidnapping is human trafficking. And big pharma is the one huge ball that's human traffickers. The third way the devil was able to trap souls was sex. Sex is a very sacred act. So much occurs in our internal and external system during sex. Spirits are real entities. The devil enlisted services of very dark entities to help carry out the process. Help carry out these processes and keep everyone confused. Mainly men here. Astral dreaming is a very real thing also. These dark entities, they enter our dreams to persuade beings with vivid and actual sex acts. For instance, a man could be having a dream that sexually arouses them, set up by a dark entity. They could be seeing a fine woman standing before them, become erect and go have sex with this fine woman. And upon taking the woman, the entity, the dark entity, enters the man from the back. As the man realizes he's being entered, the woman in front of him may turn into another man. It may turn into his daughter, his mom, something creepy, a demon. They can invoke you to have dreams wherein you perform homosexuality activity on men. These men awaken, have a thirst for homosexuality, and eventually act on it, but don't know why. This is important because if you're a man and get penetrated from the back, your crown chakra may be damaged forever. If this happens, the gods are unable to talk to you. But this is the worst case scenario. It don't always happen, but your crown chakra is your God chakra. The fourth way the devil was able to trap souls was mind control. To infiltrate the organization who controls what we are forced to see and hear, thus having control over fear, mass confusion, as well as the ability to create it and then act like the hero to distinguish it too. This has caused things such as continued racism, white supremacy, everyone being color struck. What is termed today as drinking the Kool-Aid. Our thoughts are the true goal. Thoughts are everything. Thoughts control everything. So everyone wants to control our thoughts and control. Everyone in turn wants to control our thoughts. The fifth way the devil was able to tap souls was to control the food supply. Different food can act as a blockage to kind of dumb your body down. Refined white sugar and sugar substitutes cause pineal gland blockages. The access to food and drink 24/7 as well as a huge consumption of meat on the planet causes a circle of health and psychological problems for the population. This causes pharma to be very popular. They control people by fear of death. So instead of telling people to eat better, they market and sell many pharmaceuticals for various physical and mental illnesses. This keeps the population on a swivel of fear because the average person is scared to die. They have us by the balls by fear. After the ascended masters vanished to heaven, the black Africans remained on the planet. Now keep in mind, Africans come in all shades. However, Jesus was said to be a black African. And just because of this fact, and because everyone understood that Jesus will, in fact, walk the earth again one day, the never-ending war on the black Africans has been created. The devil vowed to oppress every aspect of black Africans' existence until the end of time, especially the black African male, because, of course, everyone thought Jesus to be of male descent. They used these people to teeter with the gods in attempts to lure them back to the planet, thus explaining many parts of our history, slavery, the Black Wall Street Massacre, when they bombed that Philadelphia neighborhood, when they killed MLK, when they killed Malcolm, Nelson Mandela being in jail forever. the Rodney King beatings, OJ, Trayvon Martin, Relisha Rudd. That list could go on for days, and I will be sitting here talking probably till I'm dead with names and events that these people used to teeter with the gods to try to get them to come back down here. They not coming back down here though. One of the main goals of slavery was to mix all the race through the years in hopes that all DNA would eventually be mixed and confused. There had already been a race mix-up when a Nephilim snuck on Noah's Ark. That op ensured that a toxic mixed bloodline still walked this planet. The DNA of the gods is magical. Some may have blood of gods, but there are ones that have more God DNA than others. This is the case across all races. There has been massive DNA emergence all over the place. However, most think that black Africans are forever the standout because Jesus is black. Everybody knows Jesus is coming back, and everybody knows Jesus was black. This fact is the answer to the empirical question as to why everyone treats the black people so bad and never do anything about it. It's a very simple answer to a lot of hard questions. Nobody cares. Time either.